Hi guys. I want to talk about a couple of random things today. I have a more direct video coming later, but today I want to get this video out for you guys. I had a really good weekend. It was busy and we just, did a lot. Like Axel had a vet appointment that we had to go to, and it was really good. So I didn't really get any filming done, but sometimes it's like that. And yeah, so I'm back. First of all, I want to talk about Kate Gosselin. So Kate Gosselin from John and Kate Plus 8, or Kate Plus 8, depending on if you know her from reality TV. She's done a whole lot. And her son, Colin, has been speaking publicly about how she has negatively impacted his life, how he has dealt with mental health issues and all the things. And honestly, how being put on TV as a child negatively impacted him. And he's been very vocal about that. It's not only been sad to hear from him, but it's also been very sad to hear Kate's response from where she is talking to media outlets and stuff. She has this whole stance, and it's very confusing, of like, we haven't talked to him, we don't know what's going on, but then she'll say things that, like, she knows what's going on, and she knows that he's having mental health struggles, and she knows this, and she knows that. And so I don't believe a word the woman says. I think Kate Gosselin is the ultimate attention-seeking reality star, and she did so much to become famous, including kind of ruining her kids' childhood and embarrassing them on TV, and just being overall an awful person. I was watching a lot of that unfold over the weekend, so I'll include some clips of stuff that I've been watching just for additional context. But it's so sad, and I think of families like John and Kate Plus 8, or the kids from Little People Big World, or the Duggars, any of these reality families, and then we see how being on TV impacted them as a kid, because we're hearing from them as adults or seeing what's going on. And then I think of the world of family vloggers. I feel like putting your kids on YouTube can negatively impact them, just like what we're hearing about from these reality TV kids as adults. And I think that sometimes people discount what YouTube is. And I almost find YouTube to be more dangerous because, number one, they're not acting. They're literally having, same idea, like cameras in their home, recording when they're waking up, recording medical visits, recording going to school, recording family fights. But with YouTube, I feel like that parasocial connection is even stronger than what it is with reality TV. Because all that you have to do is leave a comment and you'll get a response. Usually. Not all the time. But people on YouTube are just so much more accessible than people on reality TV. Like with a reality TV thing, it's like, oh, well, I can go to a meetup, or I can write, try to write a letter, and get a response. But being able to leave a comment or jump into a live stream and leave a comment and get recognized is something that people didn't have access that way with reality TV stars.
If you've ever watched John and Kate Plus 8, you probably know there's an awful lot of drama when it comes to their son, Colin. Colin did an interview with Entertainment Tonight in 2022 where he did share a lot about his life. He has opened up a whole lot more, though, in a recent special called The Dark Side of the 2000s on Vice TV.
I was in two different institutions. Scary place. I was actually 12 when I got admitted there, and then it was like I spent my 13th and 14th birthday there. My mom had her own agenda. I don't know exactly what that was, but my agenda was to make it out on top of that tough spot.
Your mom said, Colin has special needs. It's not something that has only impacted me or him. Our entire family has been impacted.
it's unfortunate that that's how my mom, phrased me as a person. I don't see those things, and I don't think anybody else sees those things, but if that's how she sees me, then, that's her point of view, and I hope that if we met again one day, she would understand that, it's not the case.
But you shouldn't have been there is what you're saying to me.
No.
What did that do to your relationship with her?
After being there, I didn't have a relationship with her. Even before that, I don't think we had much of a relationship, and I think that just kept tearing it even more down.
Colin told me he was finally able to leave the institution after writing John this gut-wrenching letter begging for help. Quote, "You're my dad, my savior. Please help me. I'm counting on you to get me out of here. Daddy, I love you."
I was in a dark place mentally. I think being in a place like that does more damage than it helps you.
Colin moved in with his dad and twin sister Hannah. In 2018, John says he was granted temporary full custody.
Your mom didn't show up to the custody hearing. Did it bother you that she didn't show up?
It didn't really bother me. I mean, they just gave it to my dad, and she wasn't there to put her word in. So Hannah, she was a big part of my emotional support. She helped me out a lot, and still does to this day. I didn't know anything about him. He didn't know anything about me. The last time I'd seen him, I was so young. A lot of new things to figure out.
Are you trying to say your mother was abusive to you? Is that?
Well, yeah, that's kind of the reason why she sent me away. But, I was starting to tell people what was going on at home, and, she caught wind of that. I know my mother was going through a lot of things. She needed someone to take out her anger, her frustration on, and it was just kind of me. I'm not going to say I was a perfect child, but I'd say my misbehaving was no different from my siblings. I think my mom kind of drove a social barrier between us. She told them the story one way, and obviously I see the story a different way.
Hannah, who also moved out of her mother's home and lives with her father, John, shared her perspective on how Colin was treated.
It was a difficult decision leaving my siblings. I just feel like there was unfair treatment in my mom's house. He would be separated from us. Like, he would not get to come and play outside with us. He would eat dinner at different times than us. I don't think effort was made in the home to help him learn what behavior is acceptable and what behavior is not acceptable. We did not talk to Colin for years while he was in the facility. We didn't even know where he was. So that was a big thing for me because I couldn't comprehend why my mom would do that to one of our siblings, her own kid.
I love you, Colin. You're going to be my...
That is like a really dark part of our past.
But Colin's other siblings seem to think differently.
They don't talk to Colin. Everyone eventually found out what happened to him, but now they decided to just not have a relationship with him.
Kate Gosselin from John and Kate Plus 8 has now posted a response to Colin's accusations in the new docuseries, and her response is not good. John has also responded to her accusations and claims, and I'll share that with you next. I have never wanted to have to do this, but I feel I've been backed into a corner and left with no choice. Although it saddens me to do so, I need to speak out now. My son Colin, whom I love with all of my heart, has received multiple psychiatric diagnoses over the years. For the safety of myself, his brothers and sisters, and for his own well-being, he was placed in a facility following years of outpatient treatment, which proved insufficient for his needs. The decision to admit him was made by emergency room doctors following one of his many attacks/outbursts, this one involving his use of a weapon. Fast forward to the present day, and following John's removal of Colin from treatment, my son's unpredictable and violent behaviors have sadly continued towards John, Hannah, and others around him. Colin's distorted perception of reality is one of the many issues that he has always struggled with. As many people who have family members grappling with mental health issues can attest, it is rarely and sadly surprising when complete fabrications occur, and is just another heartbreaking facet of this fight. All parent-child relationships are complex, but when mental illness is involved, it is incredibly complicated and painful, and certainly not easy for others on the outside to understand. All measures that were taken in our home were at the explicit recommendation of his pediatric psychiatrist and or his team of specialists and were put into place to safeguard every member of our family, our friends, as well as our family pets. Unfortunately, I believe Colin remains a very troubled young man who continues to need a lot of help. His brothers and sisters and I have not been directly involved in his life due to his history of unpredictable behavior and violent tendencies towards us. What his sister Maddie posted on social media recently is completely accurate, and I deeply appreciate her bravery in doing so. This is all I have to say on the matter, and I will not be discussing this subject any further at this time. Except in the comments, apparently, because she's been posting replies to a lot of comments. Someone posted, "He seems to be doing okay with his father and Hannah," and Kate responds, "No, he's definitely not. More of what goes on in private that you know nothing about." "He wouldn't have been able to join the Marines if he had current or history of a mental disorder." Kate responds, "That's assuming he was truthful." John did give People magazine a response. In it, he says, "Regarding these brand new false accusations, it seems clear that even today, after not seeing her son since the 6th grade, Kate is unable to control her abusive words towards him. At this point, Colin is training to be a Marine in order to serve his country and is unable to respond to his mother's callous lies."
I hope that these conversations shed a light on the negative impact of putting your kids out there when they're far too young to realize what the hell is going on. There was also a video that I was sent numerous times on Instagram, and they were trying to educate people about the dangers of sharing your kids' images on social media. And they used AI to take this little girl named Ella and turn her into an adult using AI. Then they proceeded on with the video showing Ella as an adult and how AI can Photoshop her adult face, even though she's not even an adult yet, onto inappropriate images, and AI can be used to literally make her say things that she's not saying, whether it's used to scam people or get involved in like ransom situations. All of this stuff can be used because of AI, and it comes from these people getting your kids' images from social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and you're sharing their voice and their photo on social media. So AI literally needs the smallest amount of information, and they can do so many absolutely insane things. Technology is such a double-sided thing, because I love technology. I love where it's going. I love what it's done over the last, several years for society as a whole. But it's also very important to be careful with it. And don't put your kids out there, and don't put their voices out there, because once their image and their voice is out there, that's all that it takes. Like I said, they need like a little teeny tiny grain of sand of an image and a quick clip of the kid's voice, and they can do all of this insane stuff with it. It is so scary.
Hey Mom, hey Dad. It's me, Ella. Well, a digital version of me. Just a bit older. Amazing what technology can do these days, isn't it? All you need are a couple of pictures, like the ones you share on social media, where they can be taken and used by everybody. I know, for you, these pictures are just memories. But for others, they are data. And for me, maybe the beginning of a horrible future. A future where my identity can be stolen just like that. Where I can go to prison for things that I would never do. Imagine my credit score being destroyed, Dad. Or my voice copied to scam you, Mom.
Mom, I'm in trouble.
I need you to send me money, please. I don't want to become a meme, humiliated by everyone at school.
Kill yourself, you fucking loser.
And I certainly don't want this. What you share online is like a digital footprint that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I'm telling you this because I know you love me and would never do anything to harm me. So please, Mom, please, Dad, protect my virtual privacy.
Now the final thing I want to talk about in this video is Peter Mon. So Peter Mon made a video addressing my video that I released a couple days ago, and I was really nervous to watch it. He said he was nervous to watch my video. I was nervous to watch his video because nobody has to accept my apology. I can't force somebody to accept my apology, acknowledge that I even made a video. None of that. So I'll link his video down below, but essentially he acknowledged everything that happened 2 years ago, and the thing that he didn't know was that I did the donation. So he acknowledged that in his video, and you know, he was just very complimentary. And I was looking back on the video that I did showing the donation, because if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to show you guys proof, because I don't want to just say it and then not show that I actually followed through with it, and I want to show you the numbers and the back end and all that. I was looking at the date, and you guys might know already, but I don't share a lot of my personal life on YouTube. And there was a lot going on back then. It was July of 2021, and I had a lot of heavy stuff going on in my personal life during that time, and I would have never brought that to YouTube because I didn't want it to seem like, oh, well, she's only saying this because whatever, like. But I think that it makes me appreciate even more back then the way that I would say 95% of people accepted that I made a mistake and I messed up. And for things to come full circle now, where I'm hearing directly from Peter that he not only accepted my apology, but he was so complimentary in his video. He didn't have to be so nice, you know? But he was, and I'm so thankful that things have come full circle, and now I feel like that chapter is closed, because his acknowledgement is what matters most, because he's the one that I impacted by dropping the ball. You know, I read through the comments, and there were a few comments that were kind of interesting, because it's like people were saying, like, you know, oh, I used to not like her, but I'll give her a second chance because I appreciate when people take accountability, and if Peter is good with it, then, you know, I'll give her a second chance. And like, you know, I don't come out and beg for second chances from people. I understand that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Just like everyone on YouTube is not my cup of tea. We all have our preferences. But I like when people are willing to, you know, come back around. And I'm here for people that change in a positive way. And I've tried to exhibit that to the best of my ability when I have the opportunity to. I usually try to stay pretty steady in my delivery and my opinions and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes there is stuff that changes, and I appreciate, just like I said in the other video, I appreciate people giving me the time to, not even the time, but the space to make a mistake and go through the process of trying to correct it. I really appreciate that more than you guys know. And I don't want to harp on it for too long. There were obviously a couple people in the comments that, you know, were saying, oh, I can't stand her. She's self-righteous and holier than thou and too judgmental and all that kind of stuff. And that's, I've heard that for 2 years. Some people just disagree, and that's okay. The one thing I do find interesting is people that say that I spread misinformation or I try to cancel people. So let me address that and then I'll close this video out. Number one, I don't want to cancel anyone. I want people to be held accountable for what they have done. Even with someone like Colleen Ballinger, I want her to be accountable. I want her to be held responsible for the things that she did. Do I think that she should hang up the Miranda Sings shtick? I do. But as far as her as a person, I want her to be held accountable for the things that she did. I don't just come on here and pick on random people and say they should be canceled. That's never been my gig. Do I use the word canceled in some of my titles? Yes, but that's because I want people to click on the video and hear what I had to say about it. And the word canceled just so happens to perform really good on YouTube and social media. Will some people call that clickbait? Possibly. But also a lot of times I'm saying that this person was canceled by others on social media, and here's what I have to say about it. I think that comes through in most of my videos. And as far as spreading misinformation, that is a big deal to me because I make it a point that if I get a fact incorrect, that I will acknowledge it. And as far as just sharing my opinion, I don't know how my opinion can be misinformation, because if that's just how I feel about what I'm seeing, then that's how I feel. But I guess what I'm asking for from my community is continue to hold me accountable. If I get something wrong, if there is actually misinformation in my video and it can be proven, send me a clip, send me a news, or send me a study or whatever it is that you have that shows that what I said is misinformation. But a lot of things are just my opinion. So that's kind of where I'm a little confused. But, you know, at the same time, like, people will lie. People will just say, oh, she spreads misinformation. Oh, she tried to cancel so-and-so, just to justify them not liking me. And that's fine. I appreciated Peter making his video because even though it's been 2 years, that, what I went through back then, it was really, really hard. And I didn't make it well known that it was difficult, but it was just everything. It was stuff going on in my life. It was the gravity of that situation. It was me feeling like I feel like I'm doing what I think is best and what's in my power to remedy the situation, and I still felt like nothing is good enough. It was just really difficult. So to hear from him literally like made my day, and I just really appreciated it. So I felt like it was a full circle moment, and I'm ready to move on. So nevertheless, I'm going to have another video for you guys today. Yes, it might be another car chats, but like I said, no filming over the weekend. And that's just how it goes sometimes. I did actually film, like I filmed my Peter video, but that was super quick. But aside from that, I didn't get any filming done, which is not a bad thing because I had a decent weekend. But nevertheless, it's a new week, it's a new day, and we're here. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.